And good afternoon. Welcome to the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday, final Monday of the month, I should say. April 1st rolls in here on Wednesday? Final Monday of the month. Hard to believe. We're wrapping up April. Nope, wrapping up March with April right around the corner. Hello. It is a Monday, March the 30th, our 36th day together, week number 8. Thank you over the weekend for all the responses we got. A lot of folks are now liking the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and we certainly appreciate that. And I want to say hello to Liz Ann Hamilton. Liz says she likes the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and Susan Taylor, and Larry Hammonds, Jim Edgman, Tommy Alderman. There's a bunch of them say we like the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Barry Brickey. So thank you very, very much, and we continue to grow each and every day, and that's what it's all about. Make sure you like us again on Facebook at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And each and every day we dedicate this show to the man who hung up on the cross in his Easter season. Not a more important time. We talk about how important Christmas is, and it is, but I'm not so sure Easter is not more important. So because of the death, burial, and the resurrection of the Lord Jesus. Here's the verse of the day, Acts 2, verses 25, 26, and 27. Because I am at your right hand, you will not be shaken. Because I'm at your right hand, you will not be shaken. Therefore let your heart be glad, your tongue rejoice, live in hope. I will not abandon you. Woo, that's good. Good afternoon, Horace. How are you?
Good afternoon, Tom Taylor.
Good. Have a good weekend?
Yeah, great weekend.
Good. Got all kinds of things to talk about. We got NASCAR. Of course, Denny Hamlin brought home the checkers for the 5th time at Martinsville.
I'm glad for Gibbs Racing.
There you go. Yeah, we're going to hear from Joe Gibbs later on to the show, and also Denny Hamlin, and also the truck winner, Joey Logano. They're off this week. I salute NASCAR taking the week off for Easter. They understand the importance of the holiday, and so they're taking the week off. By the way, I'm on my soapbox here real quick. Has nothing to do with sports, but I look and see what's going to be open this Friday, Good Friday, and I'm thinking, really? But we'll be closed for other holidays and other things, but we're going to be staying open. A lot of the city offices, a lot of things will be open on a regular basis on Good Friday. And
schools are going to be out?
Yeah. Some are. Some are going to be in. Some are on spring break, but some are going to be in session. And a lot of the businesses, a lot of the governmental offices are going to be open. So anyway, post office is going to be open, banks going to be open. So that has nothing to do with the sports show, but it has a lot to do with my personal faith. Why would you not take that day off? To me, it's just as important as Christmas, wouldn't you think?
Oh, it is.
Good Friday?
But it's not politically correct.
There you go. Thank you very much. In fact, I'll go on listening to Danica Patrick, going to have her on tomorrow on the show, and listening to her, and at the end of her visit, she looked at the media and says, hey, we're off this week. Happy Easter. And she asked somebody in the crowd, can I say that? Am I allowed to say Happy Easter? And I'm thinking, have we gotten that politically correct?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Can I say Happy Easter? Every day. You better be saying Happy Easter. It comes right down to there's nothing else matters. So, anyway, we'll talk about NASCAR. Big win in Martinsville for the Hamlin team, the Joe Gibbs Racing team, no question. Final Four. Talk about that coming up here in a few minutes. Lady Vols, big game tonight for Tennessee to take on the Lady Terrapins of Maryland. They're trying to get to the Final Four themselves. Reds, got a story out of the Reds camp today involving mothers with children.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's going to be good. Going to be good.
I think I know where you're going with this one.
Yep. So the Reds are
pro or con.
I'll let you make that call. So we're going to talk about that. Also, the Atlanta Falcons got fined big time for a no-no by the National Football League, a fine to the tune of $350,000. And also, there's a new coach going to be introduced later on today, and that would be Coach Forbes for the new coach for the East Tennessee State men's basketball team. That and a whole lot more coming up, again, on this Monday, again, March the 30th, 2015. Going to be checking in later on to the show here in just a few minutes, as a matter of fact, with Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway. Dave Ongie gives us our Martinsville wrap-up, our NASCAR beat writer for the Kingsport Times News. Gator's got the quiz show today. I'm feeling 5 for 5. We're going to move that right there.
Now, again, are you asking or is he asking today?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Are you prepared if you have to?
No, not at all. So this could be bad.
I hope he's listening. Maybe you can send us a little text saying, I'm asking or you're asking.
I'm supposed to call the shop because today is Fluff and Fold Day. He's at close day. He's going to be at the shop. So
he is going to be at the shop?
Yeah. So I hope he's going to have 5 questions ready for me. So I thought that was a game plan. I want to move that. I want to get that number 5 up there for me. Quiz show wins on the Bracken Paving Asphalt Maintenance scoreboard. We're at 7, holding at 7. I've got 4. Buzzer's got 1. Gator's got 1. You've got 1. So I want to move it to a number 5 for me. So he'll join us later on. Also, Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park got some road races coming up on the mountain. We'll talk about that. And also, big weekend this past weekend at Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. And Bob will join us to talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Over my shoulder, this will be my right shoulder, is the March Madness scoreboard.
It's and your I left would. Shoulder.
No, this is your right shoulder, my left shoulder.
Right.
What I say?
You just said over your right shoulder.
You know what I meant. Over.
That's West Virginia.
Thank you. Bibbidi bomb. Who cares? Anyway, over my shoulder, I have captured. No, I haven't captured. I've caught the man. I was down 3 Friday, and so now we are deadlocked, 41-41, heading to the Final Four this weekend. Any surprises when you watch the games? What did you think?
I'm surprised Notre Dame lost. I thought they had them. And I was going, yes, I was rooting so hard for them.
Against Kentucky?
Against Kentucky.
And Ashley Judd? Wow. Yeah. Can't believe you'd be against the Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh, yeah. I've been saying all along, Kentucky better watch out. They better watch out. And if it hadn't been for an uncharacteristic 2 free throws with 7 seconds to go, I mean, Kentucky's not a free throw shooting team.
Mm-hmm.
And they hit 2 critical free throws with 7 seconds to go and went up 2 points. And then Notre Dame could not convert in 7 seconds. So that was the end of the game.
Louisville, Michigan State, I watched some of that, and
that's a great game, too.
It was a great game. Well, I turned it off. It was about 4 minutes to go. I went outside and forgot all about it, came back in. It was overtime loss,
Yep.
So, but what I watched, I was not impressed. Louisville's a hard-working team, but not much D, and they didn't. At one point, they had missed like 7 or 8 shots. They don't shoot very well.
Yeah.
And
in the Notre Dame-Kentucky game, Notre Dame had the lead for most of the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Kentucky better watch out.
Wisconsin will give them all they want.
Wisconsin's got it, too.
Yeah, they'll give them all they want.
Yeah.
And then you have Duke and
Michigan State.
Michigan State, yeah. Duke and Michigan State. I like the Dukies. Freshmen. They got some freshman guys playing. What Coach K's back in there for the umpteenth time, the Final Four with his 12th trip in, I believe is what I read. So pretty impressive. So a great Final Four. We'll have lots to say about that all week long because it's coming up again this weekend in Indianapolis to determine the national championship on Saturday and on Monday. Final Four at stake tonight for the Lady Vols of Holly Warlick. Tennessee at 30-5, Maryland at 33-2. They'll play tonight at 9 o'clock in Spokane, Washington, and with a chance for a trip to the Final Four. Maryland has won 27 straight. Last year knocked off the then number 1 seed Tennessee in the round of 16 before upsetting Louisville in the Cardinals' home court in the regional final. So that's tonight. Lady Vols and the Lady Terrapins, and they don't start that until 9 o'clock out on the left coast. Makes it probably 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock there, but 9 o'clock late start. That'll put you at 12:30, 1 o'clock tonight. So will you be up for watch that one?
No.
Mrs. V loves the Lady Vols. Will she be up that late?
Let me tell you something. She was in rare form.
She stays in rare form.
When they were playing the other night, I'm telling you.
When they were down and came back?
Yeah, the man-child was over, and they were playing Gonzaga. And let's just say Mrs. V is a very animated, passionate, blood runs orange UT fan, especially when it comes to the Lady Vols.
Lots of screaming and hollering?
Lots of screaming and hollering. And my son, of course, I've threatened him over this, but he captured her moments on on his phone.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's videoed her?
Yes.
Oh.
So
I'd like to see that.
Well, you'll have to go see him. I've told him if I saw it on the internet or his Facebook or anywhere, that there would be repercussions. Or what's the word?
Repercussions.
Repercussions. There we go. Repercussions.
Really?
Yeah.
So don't put your mother out there to be humiliated.
But it was fun to watch. Bless her heart. I love her to death. It was fun to watch.
Put on a show.
Oh.
Just wrapped up in the game.
Yes.
They had a heck of a comeback, too.
Yes.
And they did make their free throw. I think it was 20 for 22 from the stripe.
Sure
so free throws do play. Well, if you go back and look, that's one of those parts of the game that they don't practice. But if you go back and look over the course of the last, just look at the March Madness tournament. How many games were decided either by making them or by missing the free throws?
Yep. And
so it's still very critical. Everybody wants to look at the dunks and the 3 points. That's all fine and good. But the basic
in a
mechanics,
close game, you got to hit your free throws down the line.
You got it. No question. Let's see what's happening in Atlanta. Atlanta Falcons have been fined $350,000. Will forfeit a 2016 draft pick for piping crowd noise into the Georgia Dome during home games over the last 2 seasons?
Because they didn't have anybody there.
Nobody's there. NFL announced the penalties today, saying the Falcons will lose a 5th-round pick in next year's draft. What took place was wrong and nowhere near the standards with which we run our business, says Falcons owner Arthur Blank.
Now,
How does he not know that?
But none of that, who cares? I mean, crowd noise?
Yeah. But
I mean,
how would he not know? He's the owner of the team. You look out there in your suite, in your skybox, and you see, I don't know, pick a number, 20,000 fans, and you're hearing noise for 60,000 because the play's going nuts. You're going to go, where's that? There ain't nobody that many people in here cheering.
Well, I guess it's an unfair advantage to the opposing team if you crank up the volume.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I see where it's coming from now. Okay.
NFL had been investigating the Falcons for piping in the noise while opposing teams were huddling, trying to call their plays. Some around the league have argued that the silent counts have rendered crowd noise more irrelevant, and it's difficult to discern how much of an advantage it gave the Falcons. But my point is, the owner says the Falcons will not appeal the punishment. He acknowledged wrongdoing last month, saying he found the situation embarrassing. Again, I'm the owner of the team. How could I not know you're piping in sound?
He told him to.
There you go. Now he gets caught.
Bottom line.
$350,000 in a draft pick. So, anyway, NFL concluded that Roddy White, the Falcons' former director of marketing, not the 4-time Pro Bowl receiver, was directly responsible for the violation. It also goes on to say Falcons president Rich McKay was not aware of White's violations, according to the NFL, but will be suspended from the league's competition committee from April through at least June 30th for failing to ensure the franchise complied with league rules. So it's becoming a mushroom thing here.
That was Roddy White fired?
He is the former director of marketing. Doesn't say he got canned as a result of this or not. But here's the bottom line is the Falcons were 3-4 at the Georgia Dome this season. So
didn't make any difference.
No. So anyway, the Falcons are fined. That's pretty hefty, $350,000 in a draft pick.
That's over $250,000.
Because there you have it. Because you knowingly piped noise into the Georgia Dome. There's no way the management didn't know that. They got caught, and they got to write a check. And so, anyway, that happened today, coming down from the National Football League. So, on our picking panel, here we go. Back to the 41-41 is we're all tied up.
It's coming down to one ball game.
Thank you.
In Wisconsin, Kentucky. If you're out on the other side, you're done. I'm done completely.
Yeah.
One game left. That'll settle it all. That's Kentucky, Wisconsin.
And I took Kentucky.
And you took Kentucky.
All right.
And if Kentucky wins that game,
I'm the winner.
Win.
If Kentucky loses, we finish in a dead tie.
You got it.
41-41.
Yeah.
Which is pretty scary, really. I mean, you look at
start the way we started out.
So how many games they played now? There's
more than 41.
I know that, but I'm trying to think what our percentage is. We've got a pretty high percentage.
I don't know. Our brackets were pretty slaughtered there after the first round or two.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and count how many games we've got so far.
Yeah.
You can do that, can't you, during the break?
I don't know. Well, I've got things to do over here on my side.
Oh, okay. Here I sit then. Apparently, I have nothing to do. Then I guess I'll be counting.
Somebody's got to produce this show.
Exactly. Somebody's got to go talk to Drew Bedard. So you do the producing, I'll do the talking. We'll take a break. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to check in with our man, Drew Bedard. And so we will have him join us from Bristol Motor Speedway. Had the open house up there on Saturday. Had a big crowd and a good time. Cold up there, but it was fun. And so we will check in with Drew Bedard coming up next right here on the Monday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's not just a race. It's the place. A place to set up a tent, park the RV, and start emptying the cooler. A place to fire up the grill in the Tennessee hills and take in the best short track racing in NASCAR. The place is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us on April 19th for the Food City 5. Call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com. It's not just a place.
It's Bristol, baby!
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday, March the 30th. Again, a week from today, we'll start a baseball coverage in the afternoon. It's going to be pretty cool. High school baseball coverage. Tell you all about that later on this week. Hey, make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like and follow. You have been. We got a big shot in the arm. Over 20 folks came on over the weekend, so they like the Tom Taylor Sports Show. That is huge. And only our 8th week of the show. We're very pleased with that, and we thank you for that. Coming up, we'll check in and hear from Joey Logano, also Denny Hamlin, and also a guy that, man, you talking about a class act. Joe Gibbs had a tough week, and I thought it was very fitting that Hamlin, one of his drivers, brought home the checkers at Martinsville. We'll hear from all three of those gentlemen later on in the show. Tomorrow, Danica Patrick will join us, and we'll just keep on keeping on. Right now, Drew Bedard's going to join us from Bristol Motor Speedway. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Fine, sir. And you guys?
Yes, very good. Thank you. Bristol Motor Speedway Open House was a great event Saturday. Tell us about it.
It was a great event. We had several hundred people out here, and blessed to have you as the host. Thank you, Tom, for being there. It was a great event. I think a lot of people, obviously, they were able to see. I think Alan Gregory wrote about it quite nicely to say that that's kind of a piece of Bristol. That when you come and see us, it's family. It's like coming home, and we give you some food and sit you down and talk to you and share stories, and so it was just a great day. A lot of people got April merchandise. They got to ride rides with the kids. We had inflatables. We had the sheriff's departments from Sullivan County, from Bristol. We had the Birthplace of Country Music Museum out there. We had some good music, and then we were also able to sign up some people for some tickets for this upcoming race weekend and for the season. Actually, the season tickets was the most popular thing the other day. And then, of course, there was a little taste of the Battle at Bristol over there. So we had a lot of great things to share, and it was a really positive event, I think. Despite the chilly temps, I think everybody seemed to have a really good time. Absolutely. Those season tickets, in fact, we pumped those up on the stage during the event. $149. You get 3 days in April, 2 days in August. As I told Ben Trout at the time, you divide that by 5, $149. It's right around $29.80 a day to go to the world's fastest half mile for, again, April and August, so you can't beat it. Plus, you put yourself in the running to make a deposit for the Battle of Bristol tickets that are coming up, again, the football game next September. And obviously that's becoming quite the commodity to try and get a hold of, is it not? It is, and that's going to be a big piece of news coming out of Bristol Motor Speedway this week. We can still say with confidence that going forward, the only group that will be able to guarantee seats to the game will be our Bristol NASCAR season ticket holders. So if you are on the fence about getting season tickets, you obviously just heard from Tom. It's $149. That's our opening price point on season tickets. Those are the backstretch, the lower backstretch area for the season. It's just an incredible value, and it also comes with our I Belong member program. And our I Belong program is our season ticket holder member program, and you get a ton of different pieces with that. You get discounts, you get coupons, you get special events, you get special access. It's just an incredible value, and that's the effort we're trying to make there. We're trying to say that season tickets will remain the best value from a pricing standpoint and a member program standpoint. So, but yes, as far as the Battle at Bristol is concerned, that is still the way to guarantee yourself tickets to the game. And actually, people who get season tickets to Bristol, the NASCAR season tickets, you can call today. You can lock down your reservation for the event. You can get, for every 2 season tickets you have, you can get 3 Battle at Bristol tickets, and that goes up as high as you want to go. So, you keep adding on 2 season tickets. You can keep going higher and higher with your Battle of Bristol tickets. And then tomorrow, we've got a special event that's going to launch our new information for the Battle of Bristol. And it's going to have new ticket information about the next phase. I'm just going to tease it today, but obviously we'll probably, have another person on your show this week to talk about it. But we've got Dr. Jerry Punch who's coming in tomorrow. We're going to have a little media availability over lunch tomorrow that's going to talk more about it. Jerry and then Landon Owen is going to be there to talk about the Battle of Bristol ticket information and who is the next group that will be able to place reservations. But I will tell you this as part of it, so I'll give you a little exclusive here. There will be a group this summer that will be able, there'll be 2 groups actually, that will be able to reserve tickets for the Battle of Bristol, but they won't be guaranteed. We have such high demand for this game. The only way and the best way is to get in before this April race, get your season tickets to Bristol, and get your seats locked in for the Battle at Bristol. That is the best way to get seats. So if you are saying to your family and friends, you guys sit around the campfire on the weekends, and you say, I'm going to that game, and I'm going to be in the grandstands. Well, the only way to guarantee it is to be a season ticket holder at Bristol. So big information coming out tomorrow. Everybody look out for it. A lot of the people who are on our email list should get that email tomorrow. It'll be coming out in the media as well. So Battle at Bristol, it's a great way to announce it right before our April race weekend to give people a little bit more information. This is what we've promised. About every quarter we'd come out with new information. So everybody get ready.
And also get those tickets even today and tomorrow anytime. Call 423-BRISTOL on your telephone keypad or on the computer, BristolTix.com. And again, $149 draw. I know there's different pricings you can get on the BristolMotorspeedway.com website and check them out as far as the different ticket prices. But really and truly, for $149, you get the April race, Carl Edwards back to defend his crown, and on the Cup Series. And, of course, Kyle Busch won't be back to defend his crown in the Xfinity Series. We'll have a new champion there. And then in the fall, you've got, of course, Joey Logano back for the night race, the Urban Tools night race. So, again, 5 days of racing at the Last Great Coliseum for $149. Plus, you get a chance to put a deposit on your tickets for the Battle of Bristol. Plus, you get all the Super Pass opportunities, including stage-side tickets to see the concert, the Old Crow Medicine Show coming up in a couple of weeks. So, really and truly, it's a no-brainer for $149. For me and my thinking, that's the way to go. 423-BRISTOL or BristolTix.com to get yourself ready for some great racing coming up in less than a month now, less than 3 weeks away, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it is. And Bristol Live's just around the corner as well, Tom, right?
Exactly right. Coming up 2 weeks from Thursday. Bristol Live brought to you by Nationwide Agency, Yates Agency, Nationwide Agency, and also Food City is going to be our 2 title sponsors of the Bristol Live show. Very excited about that. Drew, we had a guy there Saturday. His name was Fuzzy. It was a great story. This guy already in, and as you were telling me off air, campers will be coming in very soon to come and camp in spring at Bristol. But Fuzzy was there from Iowa Saturday. Tell us about Fuzzy, would you please?
Yeah, he's one of our longtime ticket holders from Iowa, and just a great guy. I'm not sure that he has a real name. I think it's just Fuzzy. But, no, he's just like a lot of our fans around here. He's become family. And, yeah, he travels in each time for each race weekend pretty much 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time, and he camps across the street at Earhart. He gets staged there for the month so he can get one of those prime spots in Jelloville, which is a kind of a mythical folklore-type area in Earhart Campground that we visit a couple times a weekend. But, yeah, it was his birthday the other day, and it really felt, as it always does, like family at every one of our events. So that is camping is just such a great way to build relationships and make lifelong memories. You're sitting around a campfire, you open the jar, you tell some lies. It's just you have some laughs, you play some music. It's just such a great way to be part of a race weekend. And from everything I'm seeing as far as weather is concerned, it looks like it's going to be very, very pretty at night during our April race weekend. And that is what really matters for campers, is that nighttime, because you're obviously out at the races during the day, you're checking out the souvenirs, but at night is when you're sitting around with your friends and having a great time, and you want to be able to sit outside and enjoy the campsite. So if there's still some camping available here on Bristol property and I think at the adjacent ones as well, so everybody should get in on that. And one event I want to leave people with this week, if you haven't done it and you didn't do it this past Saturday, we have our next Street Fights event at Bristol Dragway this Thursday night. You can come on out and check it out. Bring your minivan, bring your Pinto, bring whatever you got, and race down the tracks. $5 to watch, $10 to race. It's an awesome event. It starts, so we just had it on Saturday, and now the normal day every week, it'll take breaks during the NASCAR season, but go on to BristolDragway.com, check out that schedule. It's normally Thursday night, so come on out for street fights.
You didn't have a Pinto. What was the first car you had growing up?
I had, this is great. I had just a terrible little car called a Dodge Omni. Is a little bubble car. It was maroon. It was both maroon on the outside and on the inside. Those have always been my favorite cars, is when you get the same color on the outside that you do on the inside. And it ran about 50% of the time. So when I'd go out for school in the morning and get ready to go to school, I'd turn the key and just be praying, hoping, and wishing it would start. So we've all had those cars, but if I still had it, I'd race it at street fights. I'll tell you that much.
There you go. Now the obvious question, was it a chick magnet, your Dodge Omni?
Absolutely, Tom. Every car I had was a chick magnet. Are you kidding me? All that matters is I married a girl from East Tennessee that is a Tennessee volunteer, and I couldn't be happier. So.
There you go. And she would tool around. If you still had it, she'd probably ride in your Dodge Omni, would she not? She would.
Sure. Yeah, we probably have to put the 3 kids in the back, too. So.
That's a great story. And, again, excitement. We were up there Saturday. As Jerry talked about up on the stage, it is a family atmosphere. You know, Fuzzy was there, and they brought out a birthday cake for this guy, and they sang happy birthday to him. And we had Brownie King there and Paul Lewis and Mr. Tiller there also, 3 drivers from yesteryear. So it really is a family atmosphere at Bristol, and everybody is gung-ho, and everybody's, I guess, in full Bristol Motor Speedway April race mode now at the Speedway, right?
Absolutely. It's a little bit frantic around here. Nobody walked through the doors. No, I'm just kidding. We're at as Jerry likes to talk about, it's Christmas season for us. You know, there's nothing more. We enjoy nothing more than bringing all 200,000 people back to town and putting everybody in the seats and shaking hands and hugging. And this is the best time of the year for us, in April and August and June as well. And then we get Speedway and lights over the winter. But it's just we put on events. We are an entertainment facility, and we like to entertain, and we like to bring people to town and show them a good time. So we're excited. Only 2 weeks away. Get your tickets now. You'll want to be a part of it. Great racing on Friday. You got doubleheader on Saturday. You got the Food City 500 on Sunday. You don't want to miss it.
You got a great report. I'll talk to you next Monday. It's Bristol, baby.
That's right. All right, guys. Take care.
Yep, great job again. Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway. Dodge Omni. His first chick magnet was a Dodge Omni. Mine was a Pontiac Le Mans T37. Yours was a
Buick Skylark.
72
Buick Skylark.
Yeah, chick magnet for a horse. No question.
I tell you what, my Pinto probably outrun his Omni, though.
Omnis weren't built for speed. You're exactly right. No,
they were Pintos.
I don't know what they're built for, but Omnis were not typically built for speed unless you jazzed it up a little bit. Here's a guy got it jazzed up. Denny Hamlin yesterday picked up his 5th win at Martinsville Speedway in the 66th running of a Cup race at Martinsville Speedway in the FedEx Toyota. And, of course, we had a chance to talk and ask Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, it was a great win for you and the team to get that W and to put you into the chase.
Oh, sorry.
And you know, we had a great idea after Saturday that we had a car that was capable of winning. It had the feeling it needed to have, and you know, we just had a race where things worked out for us. You know, it wasn't scripted by any means. All the adversity we had to go through, but you know, really the last 60, 70 laps played out how they needed to play out for us to win today. So, you know, it was a up and down day, obviously. You know, it seems like we could get to the lead pretty easily, and once we got to the lead, our balance changed quite a bit, and we fought it after that. But that allowed the 2 to get to us, and you know, my strong suit all day was then his strong suit, and it put us in a tough spot. And obviously, we had some great short track racing those last few laps. So, you know, glad he chose the latter decision on that last corner. But you know, that's something that you build up the respect from your competitors, and you know, he'll get that paid back to him.
That's Denny Hamlin again winning the race yesterday in Martinsville. Again, the STP 500 going into the break, literally both for us and for the Easter break. Here is the point standings, 6 races out of 36 in the books already. And again, your leader at this point, a 24-point lead over Joey Logano. Kevin Harvick on top of the leaderboard right now. Then comes Logano. Martin Truex Jr., what a year he's having, currently in 3rd place. Of course, Brad Keselowski 4th. Casey Kane currently 5th in points. Then comes Ryan Newman, Paul Menard. Denny Hamlin, by winning that one, puts himself into the top 10. He's currently 8th in points. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 9th, and Eric Almirola currently 10th in points. Again, this week they have the week off for Easter, then pick back up 2 weeks from yesterday at Texas Motor Speedway, and 3 weeks from yesterday we'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway for the running of the Food City 500. Where'd Smoke, see what he do yesterday? Smoke finished 20th.
Dropped to 20th.
Finished 20th.
He led a couple of laps, I know that.
Danica Patrick, we'll hear from her tomorrow, had a good run yesterday. Danica, we'll give you the top 10 from the race. Hamlin, Keselowski, Logano, Matt Kenseth, Joe Gibbs had a good run. David Reagan driving for Kyle Busch, finishing 5th. Martin Truex 6th. Danica Patrick 7th. Kevin Harvick 8th. Jeff Gordon 9th. Jamie McMurray 10th. Rounding out, again, the top 10 in the race from yesterday. Guys who did not have a good day yesterday, we'll talk to our buddy Dave Ongie coming up here in a minute. Guys who did not have a good day, let's see. Austin Dillon 41st. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. struggling. He has finished 40th. Chase Elliott got his first start of the Cup Series, got bounced around a bit, finished 38th, and he did not finish the race. He got knocked out about 40 or 50 laps shy of the finish. So Chase Elliott 38th in his first round of Cup driving. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing 36th. Jimmy Johnson, terrible day yesterday, finishing 35th. And so those were some of the guys that did not do well. But again, Danica Patrick very jacked up and juiced up to get back on the track after the Easter break, because they had a 7th place finish yesterday in Martinsville. Coming up, we'll learn and hear from Joe Gibbs. Also, Joey Logano winning the truck race. Started on the pole and won it on Saturday in the Kroger 250. We'll hear from Logano later on in the show. And also Joe Gibbs, what it was like for him to get this W for his team. We'll hear from him later on in the show as well. Coming up next, we've got Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer for the Kingsport Times News, on this Monday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance, because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance, even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Hey, Diet Mountain Dew driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. here. On April 19th, I'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. Tickets start at just $64, so call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com today to see me and my Diet Mountain Dew team in Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday. We'll be joined by Dave Ongie coming up here in just a few minutes. So we got the man right now. We'll go right to the phone. It's the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Greetings and salutations. I've turned into my father.
Yes, you have. That's good. Have a good weekend, I trust?
I had a great weekend.
All right. Hey, tell me about not this weekend, but next Saturday on the 11th. We're going to be all gathered together at the Holiday Inn in Johnson City. Tell us what's going on.
That is the first annual National Football Foundation Award Scholarship banquet. It's a brunch banquet. Very excited about it. We now have 8 schools, so that means 8 kids are going to be up for 3 scholarships. It's just going to be a good time, good chance to see the kids. They're still good kids in America. It's a chance to see that and a chance to go see the blue and gold game over at ETSU.
Yeah, that's coming up again a week from Saturday on the 11th. How do we get?
We've got somebody. We've got a real famous guy going to MC it for us.
Yeah. Looking forward to being over there. I don't know how famous, but I'm looking forward to being over there having a big time. Now, if you're the general public and want tickets to get to this event, how do we get those?
General tickets need to be purchased by April 1st. You can do that by calling Cherokee Barbershop, which is 928-6201, or going to bobbydickinnff@yahoo.com. And those need to be in by April 1st so we can get with the caterer.
Now, the schools that are involved, tell me about the schools you've got. You got 8 schools now.
We've got 8 schools. We've got Dobbins-Bennett,
okay,
Sullivan Central, Sullivan North, Science Hill, Happy Valley, Unaka, Cloudland, and there's one more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Greenville involved? Did you tell me Greenville?
No, Tennessee High.
Tennessee High. All right, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Dobbins-Bennett, Sullivan Central, Sullivan North, Science Hill, Happy Valley, Unaka, Cloudland, and Tennessee High are the schools that are going to be represented there a week from Saturday. The name, not the name, but the goal, the objective of your all's organization. What are you all about?
We're here we're helping young men get to college. That to get a scholarship, it's athleticism, academic, and work in the community. And there's a lot of kids that play high school football that don't get looked at, and this is a chance for them to get some help to go to the next level. Not just to play ball, but for an education.
Yeah, academics as well as athletics. So that's coming up again next Saturday a week. We'll have more to say about that all week long and next week as well. That's a great thing. And the name of the organization is?
The National Football Foundation.
There you go, the NFF. And it's a great organization. Pleased to be a part of it. And looking forward to emceeing that event for you guys and ladies. And should be a lot of fun at the Holiday Inn in Johnson City a week from Saturday. Well, if you checked your bracket, we've not graded your bracket, so I'm not real sure how good you've done or not done. I know Horace and I are we're neck and neck. You've got Kentucky. Oh, you've got Kentucky and Virginia playing for the national.
Yes, I figured with Virginia going out, that ended me.
Yeah, so your bracket on that side's blown all to pieces. So I'll go back and add them up and see how you've done. You got Kentucky and Baylor on the other side playing for the
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You were at one point leading us, but I'm not sure. We'll double check. I'll have that for you tomorrow.
Well, if I was leading at one point, let's just stop right there.
Yeah.
Ain't no sense dragging this out.
No, I'll double check, and I'll have you an official tally tomorrow. But Horace and I are tied 41-41 heading into the Final Four weekend. So, kudos, I guess, to Horace and myself for being able to pick, making at least be fun and halfway competitive.
Makes it interesting anyway.
There you go. So we're ready for the quiz show. How about the theme music? And Gator is ready, and I'm ready. And who are we going to be playing for today? I guess it's my turn to come up with somebody, right?
Yep. Who are you going to pick?
All right, I'll tell you who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick, let's see. I'm going to try Bob Sams again. How about that? Bob.
Hopefully we'll win for him.
Yeah, Bob, we tried to win for him last week, and I didn't do well. What did I do last week? I went
you were 4 for 5.
4 for 5 last week. Okay, so we'll see if we can do it. All right, quiz show music. Here we go. Quiz show time with OK
to the
Corral.
Parking lots at your local church
I do
or
too.
grocery store. Bracken Paving is an
There you go. That'd be our buddy Horace came up with that. Did a good job. As we look at the Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Paving scoreboard, we got 7 wins. Hello to the Apester and Tommy today. I've got 4. Buzzer's got 1. Gator's got 1. Horace has got 1. So we are ready to go playing for Bob Sams out of Johnson City. working for a free oil change from American Import and Auto Repair, a free haircut from Cherokee Barbershop, and a free courtesy passes all day long for any day they want between now and the end of the year at Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport. Free admission and anything you'd have to pay for. These courtesy passes cover everything at the park, so that's pretty cool. All that's if Bob Sams can win it, and that's depending upon whether I go 5 for 5. So here we go. Question number 1.
The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. True or false?
Whether I get this wrong or right is a stupid question, so I'll just go ahead and put that out there. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. True or false?
Correct.
I'm looking at her picture, doing the best I can to see it, and I'm going to say she does not have eyebrows.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right. There we go. 1 for 1 from Bob Sams, all right?
Okay. The first set of Crayola crayons had 8 colors. True or false?
First set of Crayola crayons had 8 colors. True or false? First set of crayons had 8 colors. Something made me think it had 6 instead of 8. 8 crayons. I'll say true.
You are correct.
Hey, all right. 2 for 2 for Bob Sams. Question number 3.
I bet Bob's saying, let's cut it off right there.
Let's stop right now, while we're ahead. All right.
Okay. This is Herbert Hoover was part of Stanford University's first graduating class. True or false?
Herbert Hoover, you're talking about the president, former president.
Yeah, not the man that invented the vacuum cleaner.
Exactly. Not Mr. Hoover, but was part of the Stanford's first graduating class. Herbert Hoover, part of Stanford's. I would say that is false.
Oh, it's true.
True.
1895.
Okay, turn the stupid buzzer off. All right.
I let him
that one more time.
You want to hear it one more time?
Yeah, go ahead and one more time because he wants to. Go ahead. All right. Stupid question. All right, go ahead. Number 4.
Okay, the dog on the Brady Bunch. His name was Tigger.
False.
You're correct. It was Tiger.
Tiger, yep, got it. If I miss going 5 for 5 over Herbert Hoover, I'm not going to be happy. Go ahead.
Okay. Alfred Hitchcock won an Academy Award for Best Director for the movie Psycho. True or false?
One of them, everybody thought he did. He did not. Let's see. Psycho. I know he did one for the Birds. Psycho. All right, the question is he did or did not? Say it again.
He won for Best Director for the movie Psycho.
I'll say true.
It's false.
Good. Okay. Hit that stupid. Okay. All right.
He was nominated 5 times but never won.
He what?
He was nominated 5 times but never won.
Never won. Okay. Well, that was a fun day. That was a fun last 5 minutes. Stupid questions. Herbert Hoover and Alfred Hitchcock. Hoover and Hitchcock. The 2 H's got me today. Well, Gator, it's always fun to talk to you and always to be humiliated on the live internet, so thank you.
Hey, that's only because I'm asking. If you were asking, I'd be humiliated.
That's true. That's all right. That was a good question. So Hoover was part of the Stanford class. That's interesting. Alfred Hitchcock never won a Oscar for any of his movies. That is very interesting.
Yeah, because he's a great director.
Yeah. What's your favorite Hitchcock movie?
I'd have to say Psycho.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Psycho.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Once again.
The Birds was good, too.
Yeah.
Birds is good, too. I've got them both.
Yeah. So go ahead and say it. Was Anthony Perkins, when he the one in Psycho?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Gator, thank you, my friend. Before you go, tell us about Cherokee Barbershop, would you please?
We're open Tuesday to Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, 8:30 to 1. Come on down, get a haircut and a shave. Great place to be. Cup of coffee.
My buddy over here, it's time for him to get his ears. He's getting a little shaggy on the side, so it's time.
You're not planning on being sick tomorrow, nothing like that, right?
I plan on being here.
All right. Well, I'll probably come by and see you.
Woo, there you go.
Thanks for the warning.
Heat them towels up, brother. Heat them towels up.
Towels will be hot.
All right, Gator. Thank you, my friend. Great job. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Good man. Our buddy Gator from the Cherokee Barbershop. Herbert Hoover and Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, didn't do good on those two. God. Went 3 for 5. They're so off the wall. Should have said true on Herbert Hoover because I'm thinking, well, to make this one thing, I got it wrong. So anyway, thanks again to the Gator man, Cherokee Barbershop. Barber Pole is out. He's in. He's off today. Today's Fluff and Fold Day at the old barbershop, and we appreciate him very, very much. And, again, thank you for being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right, we've got a basketball coach to be named later on today. Steve Forbes to be named the head basketball coach at East Tennessee State University. That's going to be happening theoretically right around 5 o'clock today on the campus of East Tennessee State. Forbes, again, at Gordon Ball Practice Court at the Mountain States Athletic Center on campus. Check this out. Over the past 4 years, teams he has been associated with, either as head coach or an assistant coach, have won 92% of their games.
Wow.
After leaving Tennessee, as part of Pearl's staff, had to leave because of all the stuff went on down there. He moved on to Northwest Florida State Community College. He was 61-6 there in 2 years. Forbes' 2 seasons at Northwest Florida State each ended in the Junior College National Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this guy gets him to the I don't know if he won him, but he got him to the championship. Also, then he went on, and he was just most recently on the staff at Wichita State. They had a 65-5 record the last 2 seasons with Forbes on the bench. The new coach at East Tennessee State, his overall record over the last 4 seasons, 126-11. Teams he's been involved with.
126-11.
That's a winner.
Yeah. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep. Steve Forbes, 5:30 today, 126-11 over the last 4 seasons. And, again, a lot of the folks in the coaching circle saying, man, ETSU's got themselves a plum. So, now, the Tennessee men's basketball coaching job. We reported Friday, we broke the story to you here on the show, or shortly thereafter, that Tyndall had been fired at Tennessee. There's been all kinds of chatter going on all weekend long. So now they're looking for a coach. I'd go right to Texas and talk to Rick Barnes, see what this guy's done. He got canned, new athletic director at Texas. The new athletic director, Steve Patterson, said, you got to fire your staff because you've underachieved. You're going to stay. You got to fire your staff or you're gone. Barnes said, I'm not firing my staff.
Yeah. So he's gone.
And I like a man stood by his fellows. Now, it cost him his job, but he got a $1.75 million payout. So it's not like he's going to be destitute on, buying Pop-Tarts and Beanie Weenies. So, and there's nothing wrong with those, by the way. I like them both.
Yeah.
But if that's all you can afford is my point. $1.75 million payout to Rick Barnes. And, again, the athletic director at Texas said, fire your staff, fire your assistants, or you're gone. He said, I'm not firing them. In fact, they even offered to step down and step away so he could keep his job. He said, no, I'm not doing that. We either go as a staff or we stay as a staff. And so they canned him, and he said, I've got nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway, having said all that, I'd go right to Austin, Texas, and call Rick Barnes and say, would you be interested in coming to Tennessee? Because this guy is a winner, no question. And, I would assume they're going to do that. They're going to take a look at everybody they can. I thought it was interesting that Dave Hart, for the first time ever, Dave Hart has put together a committee to go get him a new coach.
Put a committee together.
Yeah.
It's about time he did something right.
Well, I think that takes the heat off him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, let's let the third spoke do it. So, anyway, Barnes was asked for staff changes. He said no. I think that's very admirable. It cost him his job, but again, it's all about relationships. And Rick Barnes said, I'm not going to ask my staff to step down. We go as a unit or stay as a unit. An emotional Rick Barnes fought back tears and saying goodbye to Texas after 17 years, insisting he's grateful for his time with the Longhorns, is not bitter about being fired. He did reveal he was told by athletic director Steve Patterson that he would be back for another season after Texas lost to Butler, but some things changed, and Barnes confirmed that Patterson told him a few days ago he had to fire members of his coaching staff or be fired himself. They got to go. That ultimatum was leaked to the media last week, publicly turning up the pressure on Barnes and his assistants. Barnes blamed the leak on an athletic department but did not name any individuals that caused that. Barnes said his staff offered to quit, but he refused to let them. So we're going in as a staff, leaving as a staff. So his Longhorn team, why would you go after Rick Barnes? I guess that's the question if you're Tennessee. His Longhorn teams reached the NCAA tournament 16 times. He's won 3 Big 12 regular season titles. He won 402 games at Texas, the most in school history. This season became just the 13th active coach to reach 600 career wins.
How old is he?
61.
61.
Yeah.
That would be his only drawback, I think, is his age. I mean, he's seasoned. You know he can get the job done. But will he be a stable force for years to come?
Coach the National Player of the Year, Kevin Durant, who's now in the pros in 2007, T.J. Ford in 2003. He's 61 years old, but there again, I'd take my chance with the guy. Obviously, 402 wins. Let me get down and read that again. I don't know who else is out there who's got this kind of resume. Been to the NCAA tournament 16 times, won 3 Big 12 regular season titles, 402 games at Texas. This season became only the 13th active coach to reach 600 career wins. Texas made the Final Four in 2003 for the first time in more than 50 years. Also made it the Elite Eight in 2006 and 2008. Boasted, again, future NBA players LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant, and T.J. Ford. Guy's got a pretty good resume. So I don't know who Tennessee's going after.
We know he knows how to wear orange.
Yeah, wears Texas orange, that burnt orange, and maybe he can wear some Tennessee orange. I said he was 61. He is 60.
60.
Says he would like to coach again, didn't say where. His name is likely to service as a potential candidate for several job openings around the country. He had 4 years left on his Texas contract, is due a severance payment, as I said, of $1.75 million. So, again, I go after him if I'm Tennessee. This guy's got the resume. I don't know who else is out there right now. They are getting ready to talk to Greg Marshall from Wichita State, Steve Forbes' boss, and also Shaka Smart from VCU. Those are two of the front runners for the Texas job. But, if I'm Tennessee, and I'm not, I would go after Rick Barnes, or at least I'd sit down and talk to him. I'd put him in the
hunt.
In the hunt, yeah, as a potential candidate because he's proven himself. And apparently he got crossways with the new athletic director, and the rest, they say, is history. Why would you as a AD say, I'm going to keep you, but you got to can your staff? I don't understand why you would, the guy obviously underachieved in the new athletic director's eyes, but
that sounds like more like a power thing.
That's what I thought.
Two. So
either
he saw the writing on the wall regardless. So he says, that's why he reacted the way he did.
Either I keep you as a staff for another year, I'm going to serve notice, you're being watched, you're on the hot seat, whatever, or I just go ahead and can you, but you stay and everybody else goes. And he says, well, I'm not going to do that. So then you go. I don't understand. And again, the guy has proven himself.
Yep.
Winningest coach in Tennessee or in Texas, University of Texas history. It's not like this guy's an up-and-comer or a has-been. He's proven himself. But anyway, that's what's going on in Texas. Rick Barnes been there 17 years. That's a long time in college basketball. And the other thing was he got beat by Butler in the round of 64, and the AD said, hey, you got your job. You're cool. No problem. Just keep working hard.
Next thing you know.
Told him a few days later he had to get rid of his coaching staff or be fired himself. So says everything's good on this day. 2-3 days later, something happened, and now either you all go or your staff goes. So anyway, Rick Barnes, I would think would be one of the most viable options out there for Tennessee men's basketball. This may be the time you go out and you make a quick decision like you did with Donnie Tyndall. This guy's proven himself, and he's not the only one out there, but that's a pretty good prospect this quick right after it's not even the Final Four. But
how many people are on this committee he's put together?
I don't know. I have no clue. I still say it's to cover the old tail feathers. That way they make the choice. And, he's going to have input, but they've put together a search committee.
Well, he has to say yes or no regardless. He's the
exactly.
body. The buck stops right there.
Yeah.
So he still has to sit on the hot seat if something happens.
That's how I looked at it. But, again, we'll see. So Tennessee looking for a coach. Brittany Ezell, the women's coach of the Lady Bucks, big turnaround from 9 wins to 21 wins. She got an extension of her contract through 2018. Again, athletic director Coach Sanders said turnaround was phenomenal. The best in program history, the second best among all Division I teams. So she's 30 wins, 33 defeats in her 2 seasons at ETSU, but 12-game improvement, went from 9 to 21 wins in 1 season. Again, the best in school history and the second best among all Division I teams. Got herself a contract extension through the 2018-19 season, and I would say there's probably a little bit more jingle coming along with that, wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so, too. Big day in high school baseball and softball. We'll talk about that coming up in the second hour of the show. Also, congratulations to the Dobbins Minute soccer team. They won the John Metcalf soccer tournament over the weekend at DB. And Unicoi County's Lady Blue Devils won the East Tennessee Classic, the two-day softball tournament at Wingdeer Park in Johnson City. Again, a bunch of teams in there, and when the smoke cleared, Unicoi County's Lady Blue Devils won the championship of that tournament. So congratulations to the DB boys soccer team winning their own tournament, and Unicoi County winning the East Tennessee Classic, which was hosted by the Science Hill Lady Hilltopper softball team. By the way, the candidates are being interviewed today and tomorrow. Some of the candidates for the new coaching job for the Lady Hilltoppers, the girls basketball coaching spot at Science Hill, interviewing coaches today and tomorrow. And some of the names, some of the guys on the current staff are going to interview for the position. They're bringing in some, by virtue of the resumes, bringing in some guys from other areas. So there's a 4 or 5 man and person committee. I think Melanie's involved too, the principal at Science Hill, to help make that decision. So they're going to be interviewing for the new coach at Science Hill's girls basketball program. Over the weekend, we heard from Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs. Here's a guy that really has had a tough week with his son, J.D. Gibbs. By the way, I'm going to catch up with Joe, and we're going to air a portion of his interview either tomorrow or Wednesday, talking about J.D.'s relationship with the Lord, how it's gotten him through some tough scrapes. And so we'll hear from Joe Gibbs about that coming up on Wednesday. Did get a chance to say and ask, hey, it's a great victory for Joe Gibbs, for you and your team, with Denny Hamlin winning yesterday in Martinsville.
It is. I want to say a big thanks to everybody back at the race shop, all those guys back there. We have worked extremely hard. This sport is a humbling sport. It shows you how hard it is. We work hard, extremely hard. And, yeah, it's been a long time since we won a race. But I really felt great that we were able to run that well last week and led laps, had a chance with 2 of our cars, and then this week to come back on short track and run the way we did. I felt awful for Carl and Eris. They cut a tire down late like that, cost him a chance to have a good finish, to have everybody up front. Denny and the guys, David, really overcame a lot. But the thing I kind of focus on, and it tells you how hard our sport is. And so each one of these things, you know, when you win one, it's a humbling experience that you really want to enjoy, and we're going to do that this week.
Joe Gibbs, again, his team winning. They had a great run yesterday. Again, David Reagan, again, struggled through the first couple of races and beginning to dial that thing in a bit. His ride for Kyle Busch, who's still out hurt. Kenseth finishes 4th. Reagan finishes 5th. Denny Hamlin wins the race. And so 3 of the top 10. Of course, Carl Edwards, as you heard him say, cut a tire, finishes 17th. So disappointing run for Carl, still waiting to get that big W for Joe Gibbs Racing. Of course, he's back in a couple of weeks to defend his Food City 500 crown from a year ago. But, again, out of the top 10, number 1, number 4, and number 5 out of your camp. That's pretty good.
Yep, that's good.
So, and it's couldn't happen to a classier guy. And we'll try and capture some more of his thoughts. He's just such a humble guy, I tell you. Just class act. Excuse me. You wonder, you know, the old adage, why bad things happen to good people. But there's a reason, and that's what he said in the conference. So we'll pick up some more of that later on this week and hear from Joe Gibbs about his son and about Joe Gibbs Racing. Again, NASCAR off this week for the Easter weekend and picking back up next week in Texas at Texas Motor Speedway. My boys are going to be there, the Duck Commander 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. I guess Willie and Cy, I would assume they show up. The race is named after their company, the Duck Commander.
Willie will be there.
Willie will be there, and Cy, and you know, I guess the whole group will be there. But watch that just over and over. I got all the 6 seasons I guess it is now. Into 7th season I haven't gotten it yet, but 6 seasons. I just watch it over and over and over. And people tell me that show's scripted. I just don't see how it can be scripted. I mean, I watch
part of it they have a template they've got to go by.
They got a storyline, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I mean they ad lib. I mean it's all them.
You can't make up. You can't script what Cy Robertson does. I watched him last night, and the episode where they were going out and getting those grapes, and he picked up raccoon poop instead and ate it because his glasses were bad. I mean, you just can't make that up. It's hilarious. It is hilarious stuff, and so got him a handful of raccoon poop. Thought it was grapes and got sick, and And, it's just good stuff. So, anyway, next weekend in Texas is the Duck Commander 500, the next stop of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and the Xfinity Series. How about Tony Skoll? Congratulations, baseball coach at East Tennessee State. Remember the 500 Victory Club. Bucks get him a win yesterday over UNC Greensboro at Thomas Stadium in Johnson City, 5-3. Skoll, his 500th victory, 400 at East Tennessee State, 500 all told as a coach. He won 95 games at LMU before coming to East Tennessee State. So that's pretty strong to get 500 wins in any sport, especially in baseball. That's really tough. So congratulations to Tony Skoll and the Buccaneer baseball team. They will head to Morehead State, then they head off to St. Louis to play the University of St. Louis for a 3-game set this weekend. We'll take a quick break, come up with hour number 2, again, of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And coming up, we'll check in with Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer, again from the Kingsport Times News. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. Also got some stories coming up. Again, the Lady Vols play tonight. And a story about the Reds. The Reds are in the news about some things going on at Great American Ballpark. We'll tell you all about that and more. Of course, this is the final week of spring training. Opening day of Major League Baseball, week from today for the Redlegs against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I have been taken to task over my attitude the other day about the Reds. Greg Salyer was all over me about that. So,
I was too.
Yeah, he said, "Man, I had so much to talk about it. You just kind of got all over the Reds, and I didn't know anywhere to go with my information." I said, "Okay, coming up this Wednesday, I will be on my best behavior. I'll keep my thoughts, the Reds, to myself." But again, are they doing any better since last time we checked?
I haven't looked.
Well, see, then.
But that doesn't mean I'm not supporting them.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's spring training.
Okay. All right. That's what he said. He said, "Tom, it's spring training." I said, "I want to win every game I play." He said, "It's not possible." I said, "Well, okay, but that's my goal. I want to win every game I'm playing." He said, "It's spring training." Yeah. Now you can get concerned come Monday, April the 6th, and that's when they count. So,
they don't care who wins and loses in spring training. They're out there trying to find the best players they can put on when it matters.
All right. Okay. Okay. I took it from both you boys. I got it. I understand loud and clear. Quick break. We'll be right back. Hour number 2 on this Monday, March the 30th of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
It's not just a race, it's the place. A place to set up a tent, park the RV, and start emptying the cooler. A place to fire up the grill in the Tennessee hills and take in the best short track racing in NASCAR. The place is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us on April 19th for the Food City 500. Call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com. It's not just a place.
It's Bristol, baby!
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show this Monday, day number 36 of our show. Thank you so very, very much. And again, we got tickets to give away. We gave away tickets Friday, Brett Marshall from Kingsport 1. So we've got a pair of tickets to give away to go to the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300, and also the Pit Light 125, the K&N Pro Series doubleheader coming up again. I guess it'll be 2 weeks from this Saturday. Wow, hard to believe, but it looks like the weather's going to be great for the racing right now. Of course, we're a ways off, but they're telling us at this point that it's going to be decent weather. Of course, you can't really count on that. We can't really count hour from hour around here on weather, but we got to think positive. So anyway, we'll let you know again how you can get registered. We'll pull a name out of the hat, out of the bucket today, and get us a winner from the tickets and the bucket full of contestants trying to win tickets to the doubleheader coming up on Saturday, April the 18th. Let's go to the phonies there, our buddy Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer, the King Sports Times News. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Just fine, sir. Thank you for checking in with us. Denny Hamlin brings home the checkers, his 5th win at the Paperclip in Martinsville. We heard from Denny earlier in the race, or earlier in the show, I should say, talking about the race, and was very complimentary of Brad Keselowski, who could have wrecked him to win the race, but did not. Had some hard banging, but Hamlin hangs on to win the race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, definitely. For Denny Hamlin, I guess it had been since May of last year. That was his last victory, and it had been a long drought for Toyota in general. And for Gibbs Racing there specifically, they've kind of had a rough run as of late. And, you know, that was a team that needed a good day right there. And, of course, they get a win out of Denny Hamlin, which is huge. And I think they put 3 cars there in the top 5. And, you know, the other car, the 4th car for them, ran good all day, just kind of wound up fading a little bit at the end. So, yeah, great day for them. And, you know, the thing about Joe Gibbs Racing, I remember last year it was Hamlin and Kyle Busch were both talking at Bristol when they were there. They said, you know, their short track program had kind of fallen off a little bit, and they've done a lot of testing late last year and kind of into this year to try to get it back up to where they're the dominant short track team. That's something they really take pride in, and I think that really showed, you know, yesterday because they were up near the front and got the boost that they needed.
We're talking to Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer. Again, you're right. The top 10, you had Denny Hamlin winning. From Joe Gibbs, you had Kenseth finishing 4th, David Reagan driving for Kyle Busch finishing 5th, and as you said, Carl Edwards outside the top 15 finished 17th. They cut a tire late in the race, so tough afternoon for Carl, still looking for that first win. But Joe Gibbs Racing, in lieu of all the tough news they had last week, I guess this was kind of put a kind of a smile on a tough week for Joe Gibbs and his Joe Gibbs Racing team.
Yeah, definitely. It was much needed for them. I know with J.D. Gibbs, and he announced, I guess, late last week he's having some health issues, and kind of a little bit vague on that deal in terms of what he's dealing with. But I think, you know, they think it might deal with some head injuries he had kind of early on in his athletic career there. So, you know, definitely the best to him as he's working to get himself back up to full strength there. It's you know, from everybody I know who's dealt with J.D. Gibbs, they'll tell you he's a really great guy. Definitely. One of the driving forces behind that race team and makes a lot of day-to-day decisions and helps them go. And he's done a lot of great work over the years and been a great person. So hopefully he gets that resolved and gets him back to full strength.
Talking to Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer of the Kingsport Times News. Martin Truex Jr. finishing 6th, quietly putting together a heck of a run for the season, not just in Martinsville, but just the season as a whole. And then Danica has a very strong finish. She comes in 7th, so these two had a good day yesterday at the old Paperclip.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned with Truex, that's been a trend for them this year. You know, it's really amazing when you look at that 78 team. They, you know, they obviously made the chase with Kurt Busch before he made his move over to Stewart Haas last season. And then Truex kind of struggled last year, you know, after having some good runs there with Michael Waltrip Racing for a few years. And, you know, but now I think this year they're kind of on the same page. And, you know, a single car team in Colorado, they're a long way away from the hub of the sport down there in Charlotte. You know, there's some advantages and disadvantages to that, you know, but really what they've got going right now seems to be working. They've been in the top 10, you know, every week, obviously this season. And for them, that's really amazing. Single car team in this sport is really a nice story. And it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that up or not. You know, with Danica, you know, she's had some tough luck, it seems like, all season long. But there's something about Martinsville with her. She's had some good runs here in the past and really has this place figured out. And I don't know what it is about that place. It's a tough track, but for some reason it just really agrees with her driving style.
Yeah, we're going to hear from her tomorrow. We'll have her in as a result of the racing on Sunday, the Paperclip in Martinsville. Again, a strong 7th-place finish for Danica Patrick. Guys who did not do well yesterday, Jimmy Johnson, 35th, Dale Earnhardt Jr. at 36th, Chase Elliott, and the future Hendrick driver, of course, finishing 38th. Not a good day for the Hendrick folks yesterday.
No, it definitely wasn't. And, if you're Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, you can kind of shake it off and say, well, we had some problems. Things didn't go well. We got caught up in some stuff. But for Chase Elliott, it's going to be really disappointing because of the fact that he only gets 5 races this year. NASCAR gives these team owners 5 races a year to add a 5th car if they want to in order to race somebody that's going to be, an up-and-comer going to race in the future to have some starts. And, the big thing all drivers will tell you is what they want to do with those 5 starts is to get as many laps in as possible. Because if you're not out on the track, you're not getting experience, And for him to miss, I guess, somewhere around 60 laps or whatever behind the wall, dealing with a problem, and then have to just kind of ride around for the rest of the day, that took a lot of potential learning time for him and seat time for Chase Elliott and kind of took that away from him. So that's going to be the most disappointing part for him, I believe, is that he didn't have a chance to get a lot of on-the-job training, in a good car yesterday.
The NASCAR folks, Sprint Cup Series drivers, everybody gets a week off. So what do they do? What do the drivers do? They stick close to home. They get out of town. They go away. Do they stay around and have meetings in the shop? Of course, they go back next week to the Duck Commander 500 on the 11th, and they come back, or actually be on the 12th. And then, of course, come our way for the Food City 500. But typically, what do these guys do when they get a break in the season?
Well, right now I think they're, in terms of the drivers, they're going to sit down and debrief. That generally is a Monday, Tuesday thing where they kind of go over what happened and rehash it, and everybody on the team kind of talks it out. Then from there, a lot of the drivers, team owners, they get out of town, it seems like. Just following on Twitter and Facebook, it seems like everybody takes off. They kind of scatter to the 4 winds and get a little bit of relaxation in. The guys back at the shop in Charlotte, it never really ends for them. They're going to be building race cars, and a lot of them after Martinsville repairing race cars because there's a lot of sheet metal that was torn off a lot of vehicles yesterday. So, the job doesn't really end for them, but for drivers and team owners, they're going to get out and try to clear their head a little bit, take a little mini vacation. I know Richard Childress will probably be out hunting something somewhere. He's a big outdoorsman. A lot of the guys are, so you're going to see them kind of get out and clear their head, kind of try to refocus a little bit, and next week they'll be getting it dialed back in for Texas.
There you go. And so the Xfinity Series and also the Cup Series and the trucks, everybody's shut down for this week. And then, and I guess some guys will go try and find a racetrack to drive on. But I would think a lot of them will do exactly what you said, just kind of literally get away and kind of spend some family time, enjoy the Easter weekend, and hopefully for what it's for what it's intended to is to again worship in the way you see fit for the Easter weekend. But yeah, I would think they need to get away and kind of refocus because the grind begins. After that, you got Texas and Bristol and Richmond, and man, they roll right into the grueling part of the schedule all the way to the All-Star race in Charlotte Memorial Day weekend. So it's getting ready to really ramp up and get, as we said, pretty stressful and pretty hectic over the next 5, 6, 8 weeks.
Yeah, it really does. In NASCAR, it's just such a long season, especially when you look at the Cup Series. And you have to be, if you make the chase, you have to be so dialed in the last 10 weeks of the year, too, that really from a mental standpoint, these guys just have to pace themselves, And when you do get a week off like this week, you have to do your best to really take advantage of it and really kind of clear your head and rest your mind and body the best as possible because you don't get many off weeks. You don't get many chances. Once they get in that stretch over the summer, where the weather's hot and it's week in and week out and there's no breaks, they got to be ready for that, and that's a tough time of the season to get through. And, this is a chance to kind of take a breath here, and I expect them all to do that. So it should be interesting to see who comes out of that break refreshed and ready to race at Texas.
You take a break as well because we'll be ready to go. Coming up in a couple of weeks will be one of our guests in the revolving guest chair of the Bristol Live programming starting on the 16th, which is 2 weeks from Thursday. So, hey, you get rested up. We'll talk to you next Monday and enjoy Easter with you and your wife and your child, all right?
All right. You guys have a good Easter, too, and I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, great job. Thank you, my friend. He is super. Appreciate him very, very much. Dave Ongie, the NASCAR beat writer for the Kingsport Times News. Great report. And, again, they need to get away. And I know some of the guys leave the country. They go down to the Keys or even farther down, get Bermuda, Jamaica, just get away for a couple of days. And, of course, they got the jingle to do that. You just jump in the bird and fly. And I guess that's what you want to do. If you're a struggling team, I guess you want to hang around and have meetings and kind of figure things out. Or maybe the best thing to do is just get away. Whether you're struggling or not, just get away.
Get away.
Yeah. because they're in a grind, getting ready to really crank it up as far as the schedule. I mean, it's Texas, Bristol, Richmond. That's just through mid-April and the end of April. So a lot of racing coming up. Again, they're off this week. Hey, Easter's the Super Bowl, the church calendar at Antioch Baptist Church in Johnson City, the most important day of the year for those of the Christian faith. Also a time when many look back to the church. At Antioch Baptist Church this coming Sunday, they invite you to one of their 2 Easter services at 9 and 11 on Sunday. Were you there? That's the name of the cantata. We'll use media, drama, music, and teaching, inviting you to look at the Easter scene and decide if you see yourself in those at the cross. Antioch is located at 1014 Antioch Road, about a mile east of East Tennessee State, at the corner of Seminole and Antioch. And again, our buddy Pete Tackett, we'll have him on later on this week, talk about this very event, which is the Easter services, again at Antioch Baptist Church in Johnson City, coming up at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock this coming Sunday, Easter Sunday morning. Again, Antioch is located at 1014 Antioch Road, about a mile east of East Tennessee State University, at the corner of Seminole and Antioch. So we'll have Pete on a little bit later on this week to talk about that very thing, and that's an important thing to be talking about. No question about that Easter service. Our thought for the day brought to you by Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, 282-1389, the number to call, 282-1389. Here is the thought for the day. Ask yourself a question, self-examination. Is my attitude worth catching? There you go.
Worth catching.
Is my attitude worth catching? Is it something somebody else want to catch? The attitude, a winning attitude. Is my attitude worth catching? Is my attitude one that would rub off on somebody in a positive way? So there you go. Ask yourself that question. Today's the thought for the day. Is my attitude worth catching from someone or passing on to someone? It's interesting. Most of us have days when our attitude's not very good. So is our attitude, or is my attitude, worth catching? A thought for the day from my buddy Larry Kaiser from Nationwide Insurance. Had lunch with him Friday. He was telling me the Smart Ride program going great guns. 282-1389, the number to call. Rewarding drivers always play it safe. Safe drivers cost less to insure. They want to pass those savings on to you. And again, there's a weekly summary email. Take that little gizmo, the Smart Ride device, plug it up into the diagnostic part of your vehicle, usually right underneath the steering wheel, and it tracks the miles you drive, nighttime driving, this is not a GPS, fast accelerations, and hard braking. And those are the 4 they take into account. You get a weekly summary email, an update on your driving performance from the previous week, so you'll always know how you're doing. So Smart Ride gives you personalized feedback to help you make even safer driving decisions. It's a free 6-month program. If you have your insurance with Nationwide, you get an instant 5% discount just by signing up. Anywhere from 5 to 30% off of your insurance premium from Nationwide when you try the Smart Ride program. If you're a safe driver, Smart Ride was developed especially for you. Horace, would you define yourself as a safe driver? I can answer that, but you go ahead.
I would consider myself a safe driver.
I would
now,
too.
Everybody else on the road?
There you go.
I've ran into couple today, I think, that could have used that device to make them think about what they were doing.
Yeah, they backed down the middle of one of the fast food parking lots in the middle drive-through. Is that right?
They decided, whoop, I want to stop and go here, and they put it in the shoulder and just backed up in front of everybody to get into the turn lane there. It was crazy.
We're in a me society, baby. It's all about me. What's going to take care of me? The we part's gone. Thinking of your neighbor, thinking of somebody else. Not all the time. Most of the time it has been shoved to the back burner. It's all about how you're going to accommodate me and take care of me.
Yep.
So, anyway, the Smart Ride program available nationwide. Larry Kaiser, 282-1389, the number to call. 282-1389, or check him out, Kaiser L at nationwide.com on the email address on the website. Kaiser L at nationwide.com. Again, the thought for the day, is my attitude worth catching? That's pretty good there. That's pretty sobering, as they would say. Before we go to the break, I'm going to catch up with Joey Logano here and see what's going on with Joey. We'll check in with him just in a second because he made NASCAR history over the weekend. Let's set the points again. Top 10 in the Cup Series right now after 6 races. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Casey Kane. Then comes Ryan Newman, Paul Menard, Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Eric Almirola quietly moving up to that 10th spot of the points as they take the break for Easter. The Xfinity Series, I should say. Top 10 there after 5 events. They were off this week. They'll pick back up at Texas next week. Ty Dillon, currently the points leader. There comes Chris Boucher. You have Chase Elliott, Ryan Reed, Darrell Wallace Jr., Brendan Gaughan, Regan Smith, Elliott Sadler, David Starr, and Brian Scott. The top 10 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Again, Chris Boucher only 5 points behind the front-runner Ty Dillon. Then in the Truck Series, we've only ran 3 events so far out of 22. Matt Crafton, your current points leader. Then Tyler Reddick, only 2 points behind him. Eric Jones, only 6 points behind. The leader right now in the Truck Series, Matt Crafton. Then comes Johnny Salter, James Boucher, John West Townley, Ray Black, Cameron Haley, Spencer Gallagher, and Ben Kennedy round out the top 10. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series standings, again, after 3 races out of 22. One of those races over the weekend, the 29 Cooper Standard Ford, Joe Logano driving for his boss, Brad Keselowski, brought home the checkers in the 17th annual Kroger 250, his first truck win. And now it's pretty cool. He's only the 26th driver ever to win in all 3 series, Cup, Xfinity, and the Camping World Truck Series. I asked Joey Logano, you made history, my friend, over the weekend.
Neat to be part of that elite list that's, won in all 3. And, this race came about when we were looking at our Xfinity schedule over breakfast. The 3 of us, Brad and myself and Blaney, kind of go over everything, and we talk about the truck races also. And this one came up, and it was open, and no one really wanted it but me, so I took it. And, I always wanted to run this race. I've been, watching it for the last 7 years, and always wanted the opportunity to run something else besides a Cup car here at Martinsville. And, definitely it was a lot of fun. It was a great Cooper Standard Ford. From when we loaded, Chad gave me a great truck. Just made some adjustments throughout practice. Obviously, it was fast in qualifying. It was a short run truck for sure. About 30 laps into the run, it would start to lose the rear tires. We had that real long run. We lost quite a bit of time to the 88 truck, and we're able to position ourselves back up to the lead there, and then the tires started wearing out again, holding everyone off, and it became typical Martinsville at 10 laps to go, and a lot of bumping and banging, rooting and gouging, and was able to have a good restart there with the green-white checker, and be able to barrel off into 1 and hold it on the bottom and be able to retake the lead and ultimately the win. So it was really cool. Brad made a joke in Victory Lane about he's wondering like what the size of the grandfather clock is when you win a truck race compared to the Cup race, and it's the same. So pretty neat.
Pretty neat. Joe Logano brings home the checkers, on the 26th driver ever to win in all 3 series, Cup, of course, Xfinity, and now Truck Series, and brings home the checkers for his boss and teammate for Penske, of course, Brad Keselowski, and the number 29 Cooper Standard Ford pick-em-up truck. So Joey Logano brings home the checkers again for his first victory ever, the Truck Series, and did that again yesterday at the Paperclip, is what they call it, in at Martinsville Speedway. So are you a fan of Joey Logano?
I don't dislike him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's turned out. You said, let's see,
he can drive.
Yeah, he can drive. Yes, no question about that. The old boy can flat roll it up and down the highway. So Joey Logano again picks up the W. You said at the beginning of the season you thought he was going to be one of the superstars of the sport. And I think you're very much.
I think he's one of those that's up and coming, and you better look at that name and study it because you're going to hear a lot of it.
Yeah. So again, he made history. Only the 26th driver, I should say, ever to win all 3 series, a race in all 3 series, I should say, Cup, Xfinity, and now, as we said, his first ever truck win, the Kroger 250 yesterday, or rather Saturday, at Martinsville Speedway. High school baseball is bringing the schedule to you, coming up and ready to go for today. Compliments of the Kingsport Times News. Here's your schedule for today on the baseball circuit. Crockett at Volunteer. Daniel Boone plays at Tennessee High in Bristol today. Dobbins Bennett, spring break for Kingsport City Schools. They're at the Charleston Classic in Charleston, South Carolina. Science Hill at Sullivan Central today. Sullivan North plays at Elizabethton. Sullivan South, the Rebels at Sullivan East. And Southwest Virginia baseball today. East side at Lehigh. Chilhowie at J.I. Burton. And Castlewood plays at Union today, again in high school baseball. Now in softball, it goes as follows today. Sullivan North plays at Sullivan Central. David Crockett and Dobbins Bennett playing in the Azalea Tournament in South Carolina. And Union playing at Richland. So there is your softball schedule for today. Soccer today, Sullivan Central plays at Sullivan South at 5 o'clock. Track and field later on this week, got the Tri-Cities Classic at Science Hill coming up Easter weekend. We'll tell you more about that at the end of the week. And also, you've got coming up in tennis today. You have Tennessee High Gate City, J.I. Burton, and Hayside. So big day for high school baseball and softball and all the spring sports going on again across the region. Major League Baseball from yesterday, spring training games. The Reds beat the Angels 11-6. When's Dino pitch again? Tonight?
Tonight, 6 o'clock.
Yep, Daniel Norris on the mound for his final start, I'm sure, before the start of the regular season,
Maybe.
I would think.
They might have one more.
Maybe have one more, but
they're playing the Astros tonight.
At Kissimmee, Florida, at 6:05, first pitch tonight. Redlegs taking on the San Diego Padres at Goodyear, Arizona at 4:05 this afternoon. So, as we promised, we have a story about the Cincinnati Reds. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready. Throw it at me.
Okay. Let's.
Are they going to allow it?
I don't know. I'm wondering here. Here we go. Here's the latest story from the Reds camp. Again, opening day coming up a week from today at Great American Ballpark. So if you, at that point, come Monday, the opening of the season, you will see a special room at the stadium. Phil Castellini was told by stadium operations that there was an increased number of women asking where they could nurse their children at the ballpark. As a father of 5, Phil Castellini said, okay, let's see what we can do. So it didn't make much sense to put a couple of chairs in the women's bathroom. So they have opened up a room for nursing mothers at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Space can be used for breast or bottle feeding and diaper changing. Area includes private restrooms, a kitchenette, refrigerator, and lockers to store items during the game. Also have flat screen TVs so that they won't miss the game. There will be toys to play with if the 3-year-old has to come with them. So the nursing center is another example of teams catering more to female fans. New stadiums, including Yankee Stadium, have doubled the number of toilets for women than men. A far cry from more than 50 years ago when White Sox owner Bill Veeck happened to notice there were no women's bathrooms in the bleachers. So also all major sports leagues have worked with official licensees to redesign jerseys to fit women. So more and more females coming out to the ballpark. So the Reds have opened up a nursing room.
Now, I thought you were going to say they were going to allow it in the stands. That was what I was going to go off on.
No.
But, yeah, that's all right. I mean, if they're going to have a dedicated spot,
yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're nursing a kid,
yeah.
I know you might be a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
But that would detract from
yes.
the experience
yes.
of going to a baseball game.
Yes.
So why even bother?
Yeah.
So watch it on TV.
Site built by local home builder Fisher Homes and sponsored by Pampers, which is owned by Cincinnati-based Procter & Gamble. We'll have 5 gliders that will give the female fans the comfort of home while at the ballpark inside this room, used for breast or bottle feeding and diaper changing. So this is more over and above the standard restrooms, too, at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
This is a special room. I think it's a pretty cool thing.
Oh, yeah. I got no problem with that. No, I think it's great.
One that errs on the side of modesty. I've been in situations where mothers have breastfed and, they've not left much to the imagination, let's just say. I was at a swimming pool last summer here in the Tri-Cities, and, I'm enjoying a day at the pool, and I look up and, hello. So I thought, it's always been going on for obviously thousands of years, back to the biblical days. And when I was a kid, I would see a lady nursing with a towel or some kind of, covering up what was going on. But at the pool last year, there was no covering up. So this is an answer to that, and it gives these ladies a chance to go and nurse their children or bottle feed them, for that matter, not necessarily breastfeeding, or bottle feeding and diaper changing in a little private room the Reds have opened up. So you say it's a good deal? You like that?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Smart move,
I think. So Braves getting beat 2-0, bottom of the 5th inning by Detroit. Braves have had a terrible.
they ain't got anything.
No, they've had
Kimball's about the only thing they got left.
Had a tough spring training for the Atlanta Braves. The Redlegs, by the way, 13-10, 3 over 500. Last time I looked at their standings, they were 9-9. So they've had they went 4-1 over the last 3 or 4 games. The Braves, by the way, 12-14, 6-9 at home, and so not having a very good spring training. But again, I heard you say a few minutes ago, we're not worried about the records. It's not a big deal. So it's like, okay.
Unless you're getting beat every game,
yeah.
which means you haven't got anybody out there that can win.
Yeah. So Greg said, everybody says, don't worry about spring training, doesn't matter. Well, then why have I played 23 games? It doesn't matter. I know it's getting everybody ready, but if you're going to roll that ball out there and play, I go out there to win. It's just that simple. And the Reds were 13-10, 7-5 at home, 6-5 on the road, so they've won 2 in a row. And your Blue Jays, let's see where they are. Toronto, they're in the Grapefruit League down in Florida. Toronto right now is 15-12. They're 3 over, and they're 7-7 at home and 8-5 on the road. And again, Daniel Norris gets the baseball tonight for the Blue Jays. So, are you excited about Major League Baseball starting next week?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready to get on it. Last year was the first year I subscribed to MLB.TV, whatever, and I could sit out on my front porch and enjoy that stogie and pull it up on my iPad or PC and watch a ball game. I watch any of them.
I drive by Horace's house Friday after the show, and I said it. Of course, it's cool outside. Of course, it didn't bother him, but I see what looks to be a Buddha sitting out on his front porch.
Buddha. Oh, that hurt, big guy.
A Buddha. And all I can see is this wisp of smoke and his big fat stogie, and he's in there sitting out there on this chair on his porch, on a rocking chair with a laptop with a stogie. And I'm thinking, the guy's got poor smoke wisping. I'm thinking, my man is out there enjoying the stogie. So, and you did. Yeah, you did enjoy it. Very good. So, pull up. That's not what I was expecting to see in front of the Horace house. You out there in a rocking chair.
You weren't expecting to see.
I wouldn't expect to see you outside. It was cold outside.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, but he was burning my stogie. That's okay.
Mrs. Z won't allow him inside, so I got to go.
There you go. If you enjoy it outside. So
you got it.
It's still America. If you want to do that, you should be able to do it
on my front porch.
If you know it's going to damage your body, for those who smoke and they want to do it, I say go for it.
Now you're criticizing me.
No, I think it's America. If you want to smoke a cigar, smoke a cigar. It's your body. Of course, then everybody gets into the secondhand smoke thing, which whole other story. But I was taken back would be a good way to describe me pulling up in front of the Horace house and seeing Horace on the.
Now, didn't you tell me you've got a pipe around here somewhere?
Oh no, not anymore. I used to when I was back in the college days. I smoked a pipe. Yeah. My downfall was I kept burning holes in my sweaters and my shirts all the time. Going down the road, smoking a pipe, the windows open, and the sparks and ashes or whatever come up out of the pipe, hit my shirt, and I'd have big burn holes all over my shirts, and I thought, this is nuts. So I did away with it. But, yeah, I used to smoke a pipe back in the day, but not anymore. But, again, if you want to smoke a pipe or a stogie. Lady Vols, can they win tonight? Can they do it? Can the ladies defeat the Maryland Lady Terps?
That's going to be tough. The way they've played over the last few weeks, and especially in these tournament games, it's going to be tough. But they did show a lot of grit in that last game coming back. I think they were down 17 points at one time. I'm not sure, and came back to win the ball game. So, Lady Vols, they got a big challenge ahead of them tonight.
Yes, they do. The Lady Terrapins. Going to be a great ball game. 9 o'clock tip-off from Spokane, Washington. Now, we talked about the Final Four earlier. Those 4 teams in the Final Four of the NCAA are
Michigan State, Duke, Wisconsin, and Kentucky.
Can you tell me any of the NIT Final Four? They're playing tomorrow night.
No. Not a one.
Not a one, me either. Wouldn't have a clue. Tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden, Miami and Temple, and Stanford and Old Dominion. So there you go. Now the College Basketball Invitational.
Yeah. I was one of those.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to get tickets to.
No. They're playing the best out of 3. Now, I think this is a good idea.
Best out of 3 is not bad.
I like that.
I like that. I do.
The best team's going to win, and if you play them 3 times, then you're going to know that you know. It's like Louisville yesterday had a bad day at the office shooting the ball. Play them again, could have been a different result.
Yep.
Or Michigan could have beat them again. But I like the national championship best out of 3 because if you got a bad night, you get a chance to redeem yourself. And if you can't beat them 2 times out of 3, then you don't deserve to be champion.
Yep.
But anyway, they're playing the best out of 3. The College Basketball Invitational tonight, Loyola of Chicago and Louisiana Monroe. That's down there where Willie and those guys are.
Yeah.
One of those episodes was Willie took Corey to the football field to get ready for the annual Robertson football game. She got mad and quit.
No, it wasn't a good trip.
No. He put her through the paces to make her a better football player, and she finally
looked at him and said, "See ya."
I'm out. Said, "I'm out. I'm gone." Well, you got a bad attitude. I'm gone, Willie.
See ya.
See ya. So Louisiana Monroe and Loyola of Chicago playing the best of 3 starting tonight. And then you have we're not done. We have the College Insider Tournaments. We got 4 men's tournaments going. NCAA, NIT, the CBI. Now the College Insider, those semifinals tomorrow night. You have any idea who those are?
I have no idea.
No.
Probably Division II.
Do you care?
No.
Okay.
Well, if the teams that are playing it,
You yawned over there, and I knew that. I'm
the teams
wasting oxygen over here. Trying to enlighten you is like, I don't care. UT Martin at Evansville tomorrow night, and Northern Arizona takes on NJIT, and I have no clue what that stands for. So, NJIT.
New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Maybe. It's better than what I come up with. You're close. So that's tomorrow night with the College Insider and the CBI tonight. Louisiana Monroe and Loyola of Chicago in the first of the best of three. NIT tomorrow night, semis. Of course, the Final Four coming up again this weekend from Indianapolis, Indiana. Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll check in with our buddy Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse, again, as we work our way through this Monday right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you can get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Hey, Diet Mountain Dew driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. here. On April 19th, I'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. Tickets start at just $64, so call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com today to see me and my Diet Mountain Dew team in Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday, our 36th day together in our 8th week, and we thank you. Our show continues to grow. We appreciate that very, very much. And picked up, I think, 18, 20 new listeners just since Friday on the podcasting based on folks liking the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So thank you very, very much. Again, go to the Facebook, facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like us and follow us, and we'll thank you ahead of time for that. Let's go to the phonies there, our buddy Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. He'll also be with us on the Bristol Live program coming up in a couple of weeks. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm going to go out there and sunbathe the rest of the day. And no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm feeling good, and I'm glad it's getting a little warmer. Oh.
Yes. And the shop has been doing, the store's been doing good. You had a big weekend.
Doing good.
Yeah, let's start with our sports books. Let's talk. We got a special coming up in just a minute. The Kenesha, one of his store employees, has come up with. But let's start with those NASCAR books. Got them marked down. Tell us about that.
Well, the NASCAR books, as a rule, I got them from a wholesaler last year, and they originally were $40 and $50 and $30, and they're $5, $6, $7. And if they buy them this month, they'll through the NASCAR deal, you'll get an additional 25% off. So if you normally would have paid, say, $5, you'll get it for $3 $350. Or if you pay $10, you get it for $750. So you're getting whatever it is, 25% off. And these are big coffee table books. They show the racers at racing. They show the winners. They have stories about the cars and about the men. And it's a great book for somebody who's a NASCAR fan.
Absolutely. These are big hardback, we call them coffee table books back home. It's excellent value. And, again, right now you've got them discounted how much again?
25%.
Yeah, 25%
Over and
off.
above their we have them at a used price, even though most of them have never been sold. So they're great gift books. And if you like NASCAR, this is a great book because it's almost like being there.
Absolutely. Of course, the Bristol race coming up in, 3 weeks, I guess?
Right.
Yeah, 3 weeks from 3 weeks from this Sunday, as a matter of fact. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and the race fans will be coming into town. And, of course, Bob's going to be with us on Bristol Live again. Our 4 days of broadcasting, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting on the 16th of April. So we're all excited about that. Brought to you by the Yates Agency, your nationwide agency, and also by Food City and Book Lovers Warehouse. Bob, you got a special for folks who like to read, Christian romance? Is that right?
Yeah. For the amount of stock we got, you're looking at 10% of our stock, but it's about 30% of our sales. Kanisha has gone through there, and any of the ones that have 3 different stories or 3 different books in one book that originally sold for $14.95, she's going to put them out on a cart, and they'll be $1. So if you're like Christian romance, these are a real bargain. And the Love Inspired, the smaller ones, which we have for $1.99, will be out on the cart for 50 cents. So what we're doing is we're keeping the 2013 and 14s and 15s, and we're putting all the rest of them out there on sale. And hopefully you can come by and look and see what you've got and what you haven't read. And you can get some real bargains, especially on the smaller ones and the bigger ones, too. You're getting them for virtually nothing. And women who read these, they'll read one of the small ones in one evening while they're working. So it's hard to beat them because they've got great romance and they've got a good Christian attitude and a good Christian story, and you'll get a good moral response to a wonderful love story.
We're talking to Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. Bob, spring is here, obviously. Weather's warming up. A lot of folks be outside, whether it's, volleyball or badminton or golf. You got a lot of sports books there at Book Lovers Warehouse. Let's talk about the golf books. Got a lot of those back there. You got a whole section of nothing but sports books. Tell us about that.
Oh, listen, I've got some great sports books by some of the great sports players with instructions on how to make your game more exacting and exciting. And, I tell you what, once you retire and you're not going to work 40 hours a week, a lot of guys go out and play golf, and this is a great way to go. So if you have a friend that's getting ready to retire or a friend who plays golf, come in and get one of those sports books. Sports books are 25% off. We got golf, tennis, basketball, football. We got everything you can imagine. And I've got some books on hunting back there, too. So I forgot all about them until the other day. A guy wanted some books on hunting, and Kanisha pointed him to where they were. They're back in the corner. And he came up with 4 books, and it's just amazing. I didn't know we had any hunting books, but we've got everything. And if you want to start a sport, and if you're if you're under 80, I figure I'm about halfway through my life. I'm 72 years old, so I'm going to have to start playing golf or something to keep going.
I was going to ask you, have you, back in the day, or have you ever pitched horseshoes? I would think, just knowing you.
I have pitched horseshoes, and I enjoy it because it's one of the skills. If you practice it for a couple hours, you get pretty good right away.
Yeah, so you pitched horseshoes. What's your favorite sport back down through the years? Did you play baseball, or did you?
I was a catcher, and the reason I was a catcher is because I enjoyed the action all the time. And when I was in high school, I was a punter. because, I don't know. I was a big guy. I could get off a punt or a field goal kick, but I wasn't fast enough to be a runner, and I couldn't chase guys as well as you'd think. So I kick off or punt, and then I'd block a guy to the right or the left, and that was the story of my existence in high school.
There you go. So my last question, being a football fan, who was your favorite football player growing up? Who did you idolize?
Oh, that's a good question. It's been so long since I've been out there watching it. So I'm going to have to think about that because my mind at my age has just went blank for about the fifth time today.
There you go. Guys like Y.A. Tittle or Johnny Unitas or any of those.
I like Johnny Unitas, because we used to live in the Washington, D.C. area, and I forget who was the quarterback for the Washington Redskins, but I actually got to go to several of the games.
Could have been Sid Luckman. Remember him?
Sid Luckman, yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, Bob's going down memory lane throwing horseshoes and punter and football. This guy's done it. 25% off all the sports books at the store. All the NASCAR books are a fourth off. Those, again, hardback coffee table books. Again, the Christian Romance. Those 3-in-1 books, only $1 a piece. And, again, that's for a limited time. Bob, again, tell us where you're located and tell us I can tell you where you're located. You're right beside Harbor Freight Tools. You're open 7 days a week. You turn right there at the Sonic Drive-In and wheel in there. And again, all kinds of books. You got tapes, books on tapes. You've got cassette tapes. You got 8-track tapes. You got albums. You got DVDs. You got VHS tapes, musical CDs, all that, plus lots and lots of books. Again, 6,000 square foot store with over 200,000 titles. And again, you are open 7 days a week. Give me the hours you're open, my friend.
Okay, we open at 10 in the morning. We shut them to 7 o'clock at night. On Sunday, come on by. Right after church, we'll open at 12, and we'll be there till 5. And we've got a wonderful religious section, so Sunday's a good day to go shopping.
And you'll be there Friday, Good Friday. We'll check back in with you on Friday, all right?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I will.
All right, keep smiling. Thank you. Great report. I'll talk to you Friday, all right?
Okay, bye.
Yes, sir. Good job. Our buddy Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse throwing horseshoes. You ever throw shoes?
I've done it in the past.
Yeah. Love throwing horseshoes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's one of those games that but once you start doing it,
yeah.
you go, I want to try that again. So
something else I saw tonight on Duck Dynasty, watching the boys. They were cleaning out the warehouse, and they found a ping pong table. Started playing ping pong. You like playing ping pong?
Yeah, we got one up in the youth department there.
Yeah. Are you any good at it?
Used to be.
Yeah.
Used to
be. Maybe a challenge here. Tom versus Horace, a little ping pong game, a little table tennis. What about, let me think, what other sport? Bowling? We talked about doing some bowling.
I got my own ball, my own shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're a pretty good bowler.
Used to be.
Yeah.
I haven't bowled in years, man.
All right. What's the best you've ever bowled? You ever hit 300?
Oh, no. I'm going to say the best was probably 258, 259.
Really?
Yeah.
Mrs. V bowl?
No.
Okay. Does she go watch you bowl?
No.
Okay.
See, I don't think we've ever. Well, we may have got in the younger days. We may have went bowling once or twice, but.
So now, what about this disc golf? You've tried that, the frisbee golf?
Never tried it.
Yeah. Interested?
Well, since I can't throw a frisbee, no.
You can't throw a frisbee?
Oh, man, I try to throw a frisbee and it'll go, but it never goes where I want it to.
Oh, this is good. All right, little frisbee golf.
Oh, so you're picking up challenges there. I see you.
Yeah, we're kind of throwing down some.
I'll take you on putt-putt. I know I can take you in putt-putt.
We're on. Putt-putt it is. We can talk about that. Yeah.
Took you last year. I'll take you again.
Did you beat me last year?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
It's a stupid game.
Everybody beats you.
Yeah. It's a stupid game. Just like this quiz show question.
I wish I'd had a camera because I remember you laying down on your belly looking like a pool cue.
Pool thing. Yeah.
It
was that bad.
It was that bad.
I was that desperate.
You gave up that bad. You said, okay, I'm going to do this. You got down on your belly.
I was on the fourth hole. I just knew it was bad. Lay down on my belly and did a pool shot. Somebody took a picture of it somewhere. So that's coming up, by the way.
Is it?
The St. Jude's. Oh, yeah, the putt-putt's coming up. It'll be later on in the summer. But, yeah, we have plans to return again to be over there, you and I and Gator. And I don't know if 220's coming on. I didn't sense that he had a big time like we did. We had a pretty good time.
Oh, it was great.
It was a blast. We dressed up like 4 idiots and went out there and
Honolulu Hoedown Boys.
The Honolulu Hoedown Boys. fact, I've already been asked. We're going to have some folks on this week about the St. Jude's golf tournament. They've already asked me, "You boys coming back this year?" I said, "You were quite the hit." I said, "We may have looked good. We didn't play very good." So, and then you bid on some of the stuff and didn't win anything, $1 a pull or something.
I don't remember if I did anything or not.
Yeah, you did. You went over and played. It was like $1 a pull, and there was I don't know what it was, but it was 50-50.
Oh, the
right.
50-50?
50-50, where you got half.
Well, the money went to St. Jude's.
Yeah, and the lady that won it was she brought home about $400, so it was a good day at the old putt-putt in Kingsport. It's coming up. So putt-putt, Frisbee golf, horseshoes. You want to try those?
Yeah.
Okay. You weren't too excited about the Frisbee golf, but putt-putt for sure, horseshoes. I can see you and I playing badminton could be a train wreck. You ever played badminton?
No. Well, yeah. It's all right.
I would think you and I would crank one up, and we could.
What about that foot golf?
That'd be good. Carmichael will tell us about that Thursday again. Badminton, foot golf, where they combine soccer and golf, which I'd have to see that. I didn't understand that one, but that's okay. And then we got, you and I probably won't do that. We got boxing coming up this weekend. You're not a boxing
No, I'm not doing that.
All right, not a boxing. Scared of me.
I ain't scared of you. Mrs. V wouldn't allow that.
This would be classified like Cy Robertson as 5 sticks of dynamite right here. Boom.
I can take you.
Booyah. All right. So
I've had training. I can take you.
Yeah, right. All righty. Coming up, Tri-Cities Golf Day. Speaking of golf, coming up this Saturday at Warriors Path State Park. On Saturday, April 4th, area PGA professionals will be gathering at Warriors Path Golf Course from 2 to 5 for free lessons, a big break challenge, a drive, chip, and putting contest, club fitting, and more. Part of the PGA's Growth of the Game initiative. That's coming up again this coming Saturday from 2 to 5, again at Warriors Path State Park. Now, one of the nation's top-rated teaching professionals. You interested in getting golf lessons?
My sister-in-law is a golf pro.
Yeah.
I don't need golf lessons.
All right.
Does
that mean you're any good at it?
No, I don't golf.
I mean, I can tell you my uncle 3 times over played in the big leagues.
But I'm just saying, if I need them, I can get them.
I'm thinking that means nothing to me.
And I wouldn't have to pay for them.
My sister-in-law is a golf pro. Well, you know.
Of course, she's in Houston, Texas, too, so it's a little
hard
to get them.
That has nothing to do with anything, but that's our boy Horace. It's a Monday. All right, Barry Goldstein will be here. Twice selected as one of the top 50 teachers in the United States. He will be there on hand for the Tri-Cities Golf Day coming up on Saturday from 2 to 5 at Warriors Path Golf Course in Colonial Heights here in the Tri-Cities. So that's pretty cool. That would be a good chance to get out there and learn from some folks, know what's going on. Free lessons, a big break challenge, a drive, chip, and putting contest, club fitting, and more. So you've heard about my one golfing experience down at the Crossings, right? Down at Fall Branch.
Something tells me it was a train wreck.
Train wreck.
That was being kind.
Oh, me oh my. Well, they're in the middle of a tournament. I'm in the middle of a tournament. They've asked me to play, and I've told this guy, I said, I've never played golf in my life. Oh, come on, you have fun. I said, so we go over there, and he gets a couple of buckets of balls. He said, have you ever hit a golf ball? I said, putt-putt. He said, really? So he realizes that I'm not lying. I said, no, I've never hit a golf ball, but I'll try it. Well, big as you are, you can drive one. Well, I did, but
it didn't go where it was supposed to.
I never saw it. He said, keep your head down when you hit it. So I hit it. I said, man, you hit it far. So where'd it go? So I don't know. It just took off. So they said, so I hit 4 golf balls ever in my life. The guy says, hey, you're ready. Let's go.
Oh, no.
So I get out on the course. I mean, it is a train wreck. So the 4th ball I ever hit, the last ball I hit, there was a golf cart parked about 25 yards in front of me. Okay? Well, what are the odds? So I haul off, and I smoke it.
I knew it was coming.
He said, step into it. I hit the
line drive right in the cart.
Hit the golf cart muffler. Boom. Ricochets back over my head and goes back behind me, probably 5 or 10 yards. The guy says, I've never, ever seen that in my life.
What, did he give you a mulligan?
No, they actually encouraged me not to play anymore. So, and I don't know anything about the rules, and I got flip-flops on. I mean, I got sandals on because I was getting ready to leave there to go call the ball games on a Friday afternoon. I said, I'll come down for a little while. So, it's in the fall. So I get down there, and I walk across one of the sand traps. This guy said, hey, buddy, you need to rake that sand trap. I said, I ain't raking squat. What are you talking about raking? So I kept on going. He said, no, golfer's etiquette, you're supposed to rake the sand. I said, I'm telling you again, cowboy.
I don't golf.
I ain't raking squat, and I ain't golfing. I'm just coming through. He said, "You've got sandals on." I said, "I know what I got on. What's your problem with that?" Because the guy just keeps agitating me. Well, the next shot I hit down midway down the fairway. Well, I don't know which ball's mine. So I get down there in the middle of a tournament.
You picked the wrong ball.
I go over and pick up a ball.
You picked it up.
I picked it up. I put it in my pocket.
Oh, no.
So I get down to the cup. Is that where the little hole is called a cup?
Yeah.
Well, I get down there standing around.
Put it down.
I just dropped it. I said, I'll practice putting. Well, I hear this guy. He was the vice president of the bank at the time, Rocky Malloy. And so I hear him going, "Who took my ball? I thought my ball's right here." He said, "Who took my ball? My ball's not here." And I thought, I ain't saying nothing. I picked the ball up, put it in my pocket, told my buddy, I said, "Let's go to the next hole." I don't guess I've ever told anybody that ever. And so I inadvertently took the guy's ball. He's in the middle of a tournament.
Remind me not to ask you to go golf.
Well, I'm not done.
You and me probably have it'd be a train wreck. We'd have a fun time doing it.
So at the crossings, they got homes that kind of border the side of the one part of the crossing. So I'm done. I wound up, I don't know what hole it was. I mean, I hammered it. And I heard it hit the side of that brick house going ding, 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 all the way down this guy's house. And I said, holy tamale. So it mercifully, there was nobody outside when I hit that house. I mean, it was way over there off to the left. And the guys, so we finished the 9th hole, and there's 18 holes. And the guy, honest to God, came up from the crossings, pulled up and said, "Hey," he said, "you need anything else out of the beverage wagon?" I said, which means they're drinking beer. And I said, "Well, I'm not drinking. I haven't drank." He said, "No, really? You want anything any more from the beverage wagon?" I said, "No." He said, "You haven't been drinking?" I said, "No." He said, "You've been playing that bad? You haven't been drinking?" I said, "Yeah."
Been playing that bad.
So, he said, so he comes up and puts his arm around me. He said, "Now, we have to go across the road to play those other 9 holes." He said, "I don't think you need to go over there." I said, "Okay." I said, "Man, I'm hungry. You got a hot dog?" He said, "We got some hot dogs." He says, "Bring me a hot dog, and I'll just go." So he brought me a hot dog. I was on the 8th hole or 7th hole. Anyway, he brought me 2 hot dogs. I had no pockets, so I put one of them in my pocket. I got a hot dog in my pocket.
You said you didn't have any pockets.
No, I did have pockets. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I didn't have any place to put them, so I just put the hot dog in my pocket.
Oh, gosh.
Well, the last thing, I mean, it's hot and sweaty. I didn't know anything. I've never played, never been on a golf course. Well, excuse me, get beside at each one of these holes, you got this little towel hanging down.
Your personal napkin.
That's exactly what I did. I mean, it's sweating, so I took off my straw hat, and I got down on my knees. I was wiping my head. And these people they're dying laughing. I said, "What's so funny?" I'm sweating. They said, "That's not to wipe off for your hat or for your forehead. That's to wipe off your golf balls." I said,
your balls, you gotta
clean your golf balls. I said, "I used it to wipe my forehead off. I was sweating. What's the problem?"
Oh,
and these people were like, and they thought I was putting on, but I wasn't putting on. I didn't know. Had no clue. So I'm down on one knee. Somebody's got a picture of me wiping my forehead with the golf ball cleaning rag, whatever you call it. So that was my first and only trip on the golf course. I'm done. I was total humiliation. So there you go. There's the story of me on the golf course. And anyway, I'm not going Saturday because I have other things going on. But you can stop by and check out the Tri-Cities Golf Day, hosted by the Tri-Cities chapter of the PGA. They'll probably teach you how not to do some of this stuff, right? Yeah. That I did. Yeah. Tennessee, Maryland, tell me tonight. Got the Lady Vols, got the Lady Terrapins.
Oh, I got to take Lady Vols.
I'm taking the Lady Vols. All right. Got them going on tonight. And then also we'll have tomorrow, we'll check in with Michael White. They'll be having a press conference later on this afternoon announcing the new basketball coach for the men at East Tennessee State University. Steve Forbes coming in from Wichita State. The search continues for the new coach down at the University of Tennessee. Our top story or lead story today was the Atlanta Falcons fined $350,000 for knowingly pumping noise into the Georgia Dome during Falcons games, and the NFL caught them doing it. And the owner says, "Well, I don't know what's going on." Yeah, bull hockey. So they fined him $350,000 and some draft picks next year. So that's the very latest out of NFL camp. Baseball winding down to the spring training, getting ready for the start of Major League season coming up this weekend. And the Red Legs start a week from today on a 4:10 first pitch against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. We've pretty much covered everything. We do want to tell you again that the good folks at Max Medicine Mart, they have that now product line that's 20% off through, today and tomorrow. Through tomorrow will be it. And then a brand new one starts on Wednesday. So if you're interested in the folks at Max Medicine Mart, and again, it's heating back up. Please drink a lot of water. You drink a lot of water?
I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, got to drink a lot of water. Keep hydrated. They got all kinds of different types of water. They got the Penta brand. We'll run down those for you tomorrow. Got the Penta brand, the different types of water you can purchase at the Good Food Grocery, which is a store within the store, the health food store at Max Medicine Mart on Center Street. Make tracks to Max, and you do. If you get hurt, need a splint, if you need a brace, some crutches, worst case scenario, a wheelchair, they've got all those you can either buy or rent at Max Medicine Mart, the durable medical equipment portion of their store. And don't forget, with Easter coming up, they sell a lot of cards, and so they've got those, and they've got them in stock. And also the figurines, they have those as well. They sell a bunch of those figurines, and can you remember the name of them off the top of your head?
No. Sorry.
I can't either. That's why I'm grasping for. Here we go, and it's Willow Tree Angel figurines.
There you go,
Thank you. Willow Tree Angel figurines. A lot of those for Mother's Day coming up, and certainly for the Easter weekend this weekend. That'll pretty much do a wrap on it. Great show again. Thank you for our guest, Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs, Joey Logano, Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway, Dave Ongie from the Kingsport Times News, the Gator Man with those stupid questions on Herbert Hoover and Alfred Hitchcock. I went 3 for 5. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park will join us later on this week. He had a scheduling conflict. And Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse, thank you, my friend. Horace, thank you.
You're welcome.
Back at it tomorrow. We'll do it all over again on a Tuesday edition. And again, our ticket, let me tell you real quick, our ticket winner, go to the Tom Taylor Sports Show at gmail.com to register for the tickets for the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300 and the Pit Light 125, the K&N Pro Series doubleheader coming up on the 18th. And you pulled the winner. The winner is, you said it was?
Kent Archer from Limestone, Tennessee.
Kent Archer from Limestone, Tennessee is our winner today. And you can, again, register. Very simple. Put down your pertinent information. Go to the website. Tell us why you want to win the tickets, and we'll put your name in the hat, and maybe you'll win tickets to go to the doubleheader coming up in 3 weeks at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, our sponsors today have been the great folks in Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, Wells Fargo Financial Network, Bristol Motor Speedway, Bays Mountain Park, Max Medicine Mart, Gator and the Cherokee Barbershop, Book Lovers Warehouse, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance with a thought for the day, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, and by American Import and Auto Repair. Hit the music, my friend. We're gone. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. You can go to the website, facebook.com/The Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tell us you like us and follow us. As always, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Have a great Monday. Go Lady Vols. We'll see you tomorrow. And we say so long, everybody.